Negotiators looking for this bipartisan bill to address the southern border and foreign aid say talks are still on after Minority Leader Mitch McConnell appeared to throw cold water on the deal. The Kentucky Republican reportedly told colleagues in a closed-door meeting on Wednesday they may not want to undermine Donald Trump on the issue since he wants to run on it. Last night, Trump encouraged lawmakers to do nothing on the border.
To keep the border open, Trump encouraged them to let fentanyl continue to flood in and let illegal immigrants continue to stream across the border. That's what Donald Trump said. And Republicans are so weak, they're going to do it. They're going to side with fentanyl and illegal immigrants instead of a bipartisan, tough border security bill.
So then he went on social media and wrote incorrectly, "We are better off not making a deal, even if that pushes our country temporary close up for a while." But a handful of Republican senators are pushing back on letting Trump sink the deal. Take a listen.
I think the border is a very important issue for Donald Trump, and the fact that he would communicate to Republican senators and congresspeople that he doesn't want us to solve the border problem because he wants to blame Biden for it is really appalling. The American people are suffering as a result of what's happening at the border, and someone running for president ought to try and get the problem solved, as opposed to saying, "Hey, save that problem, don't solve it. Let me take credit for solving it later."
I just reject the idea that we should reserve a crisis for a better time to solve it. That's people. What's interesting to me is there are a lot of angry people out there, and that's why the border crisis is the #1 issue for voters. I don't see how we have a better story to tell when we miss the one opportunity we have to fix it, and we go and say, I would love to have fixed it, but it was election season, so I thought I'd wait.
From my point of view, we need relief today, and what we're trying to do will help him if he gets to be president. I will say to President Trump, if we can put this package together the way I hope it falls into place, that you'll have more tools to secure America than you've ever had. And it's not about one president, it's about a system.
Well, I've registered my opinion to my colleagues. I've registered it to our leadership. That I don't believe we should take this off the table. Certainly not to clear the way for a clean campaign debate season. Let's get something consequential done for the American people. That's how you instill trust in government and in your elected representatives, rather than paying fealty to short-term considerations.
They don't know how a bill becomes law. Go back to Schoolhouse Rock. If we don't take the opportunity now, there will be 0 Democrat votes for exactly the same policy beginning next year. It is immoral for me to think you look the other way because you think this is the linchpin for President Trump to win. I do not want to be a part of history that fails democracy, and that's a failure if we don't find a way to fund Ukraine and Israel.
Good for Thom Tillis. It's immoral, and he's right. And it's a failure for Republicans, and it's immoral, he says, for Republicans to fail Ukraine in their fight for freedom and to fail Israel in their fight to defend themselves against terrorists and, of course, the United States' right to secure its border. We finally have the deal. I've been going to Capitol Hill and asking for the past couple of years, why can't we get a deal done? Republicans saying, well, Democrats want this. Democrats saying, well, Republicans want... they were talking past each other. Now they're talking to each other. And James Lankford, one of the most conservative Republicans on Capitol Hill from Oklahoma, says, this is the best bill we can get. John Thune, one of the most conservative Republicans on Capitol Hill, says, this is the best border security bill we can get. It's the strongest in a generation. They all agree with that, and I agree with Thom Tillis. This is pathetic. But Gene Robinson, you now have Donald Trump, who's admitted in the past 2 weeks that his goals are, #1, and he said this to Lou Dobbs, #1, he wants the economy to crash. He knows it's going well. He wants Joe Biden. He said this. He wants Joe Biden to be Herbert Hoover, managing a depression, which means he wants the stock market to crash. He wants people's retirement funds to burn up. he wants millions of people to lose jobs. That's what he said. I wanted oppression. I want Biden to be Herbert Hoover. And then the second thing, and the Wall Street Journal talking about it right now, they're passing up a chance to secure the border. People, as Mitt Romney said, are suffering right now. Fentanyl flooding across the border, illegal immigrants streaming across the border. Democrats and Republicans in the Senate know how to stop it.
Yeah.
And House Republicans and Donald Trump won't do it. It is immoral, is it not?
It is immoral. It is insane. And it shows what has happened to the Republican Party. It really does. I mean, this is not a serious political party anymore. It is a cult. It is a cult of personality around dear leader Donald Trump. Full stop. House Republicans are already against this deal that they have been braying for years and years and years. And good on those Senate Republicans that we just showed, who came out and said, look, this is nuts. We have to pass this. We'll never get a deal like this. But let's see how they actually vote. Let's see how Lindsey Graham actually votes when it comes down to it. Let's see if Mitch McConnell can actually, get this across the finish line. We will see. I kind of have my doubts right now, given what Mitch McConnell said on Wednesday about there not being a path forward. And it is such an illustration of why we have to destroy the Republican Party in November in order to save it, really. I mean, because look at what has happened to this party. They are offered a deal that they will never get again, a deal that provides tough border security without the perpetual Democratic demands, and something Democrats really want, is a path to citizenship for the undocumented migrants who are already in the country, for the dreamers. There's nothing about that we know of in this package. They will never get this again. And yet they are about to snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory in a way that is just deeply unserious and deeply disturbing and bad for the country. And as long as Donald Trump is the cult leader of the Republican Party, this is where we're going to be.